So yesterday, Sunday Night Football, Aaron Rodgers, he passed 50,000 passing yards, another milestone to his amazing career. And 50,000 passing yards for him. He's now 11th all-time in most passing yards. Right now, like, he has a 117.6 QB rating, which is behind only his 14-1 season where he had a 122.5. He has the highest QBR of his career with an 85.2, ahead of his 14-1 season as well, where it was 84.5. And currently, he has the highest completion percentage of his entire career at 68.5. So, simple question. Do you think Aaron Rodgers has been underappreciated?
I think that he's kind of been lost in translation because I personally believe he is still hanging with guys like Russell Wilson and Patrick Mahomes as much as you possibly can, because I think that those two guys are the two best quarterbacks in the league. But I think that he belongs in that discussion more than he belongs in the Tom Brady, Drew Brees discussion, which is where I feel like he gets lumped way too often just because of age and the time they've been in the league, and they overlapped when Rodgers first came into the league. I think that Aaron Rodgers is still a top 3 quarterback in football, and I think he makes a strong MVP case this season. And without him, the Packers are not the team that they are this year. And I have them very high in my power rankings this week, and they would not be that team without Aaron Rodgers. The defense has been super inconsistent this season, and him and Devontae Adams and to a lesser extent Aaron Jones have essentially willed them to being one of the best teams in the NFC. And so I think that it depends on who you ask, but I would say that Aaron Rodgers at this point in his career has become underappreciated. And we said it with a caller last week. I think that Aaron Rodgers is a top 5 quarterback ever.
Well, I think he has been underappreciated, mostly because people don't understand what Aaron Rodgers has had to work with throughout his career. I blame kind of the mainstream media because they always create these clickbaity titles, and Aaron Rodgers has talked about it on the Pat McAfee show when he goes there on Tuesdays. I mean, he's talked about how he doesn't like the media because it's very clickbaity. I mean, I remember last year or 2 years ago when Mike McCarthy got fired, they were kind of blaming Aaron Rodgers for him getting fired. A bunch of drama about if Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers are going to work, if Aaron Rodgers is stubborn, he's not going to listen to Matt LaFleur. Just a bunch of clickbaity stuff that now we know was not true.
Clearly, we see how that worked out.
And they clicked perfectly. So, yeah, he's underappreciated, and people don't appreciate him enough because of what he's had to do throughout his career. I mean, this guy has only had a top 5 defense one time in his career. That one time they won a Super Bowl against the Steelers. You look at the history of his career, basically. He first started in 2008, and that was basically he got drafted in 2005, I believe. So he started his first game 3 years into his career. He was a full-time starter 3 years into his career. Imagine that happening now. People wouldn't have the patience for that. But nonetheless, 2011, they had the 19th ranked defense. They lost in the division game to the Giants. In 2012, they had the 11th ranked defense. 2013, they had the 24th ranked defense. With the 24th ranked defense, they lost in a wild card. 2014, they had the 13th ranked defense. They lost in the NFC championship game to the Legion of Boom. 2015, 12th ranked defense. 2016, 21st ranked defense. With the 21st ranked defense, Aaron Rodgers took that team to the NFC championship. They lost to the Falcons. Kyle Shanahan was the offensive coordinator for that team. 2017, 26th ranked defense, missed the playoffs. 2018, I believe Rodgers was injured, 22nd ranked defense. 2019, which was last year, they had the 9th ranked defense. They made the NFC championship game, and they lost, of course. And this year, they have the 19th ranked defense. I mean, just to put that into context, Aaron Rodgers has only had a top 5 defense one time in his career. He won a Super Bowl. Tom Brady has had a top 5 defense 8 times in his career. So Aaron Rodgers has never been surrounded with a consistently great defensive unit. And not only is he not surrounded with a great defensive unit now, but he's not surrounded with a great offensive unit either. I mean, he's making guys look better than they are, I believe, in my opinion. But also, they don't have a number 2 receiver. That's we've been begging the Packers to get that. even though I think Marquez Valdes-Scantling has been more consistent and he has the talent and potential to be that, he's just too inconsistent.
Yeah.
He drops way too many passes.
He's getting there, but he's not that yet.
And Aaron Rodgers, he's had to deal with so much. He hasn't had a consistently great team. We've seen that the coaching with Mike McCarthy wasn't great. So I do think he's underappreciated because I think too much, and this goes to show with a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL. The Matthew Staffords, the Matt Ryans of the world. Quarterbacks that don't win, that don't make it to the playoffs because their team stinks. They get underappreciated. And even though Aaron Rodgers has made the playoffs, the line for him, the ceiling for him is Super Bowl. Every year for Rodgers is Super Bowl or bust. If he doesn't win a Super Bowl, it's a bust season. And people talk about Rodgers like he hasn't won one, even though he has.
Yeah, and I know that this is a very, again, cliche argument and a hypothetical thing, but I want to preface this by saying Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time to me. His resume is untouchable. You can't argue what he did in New England. But if you put Aaron Rodgers in New England, I think they win more than the 6 that they won. I think that Aaron Rodgers is, if not the most skilled quarterback of all time, at least one of the most skilled quarterbacks of all time. I think he's the most skilled out of Brady, Breeze, any of these quarterbacks that have been in the league the past couple of years. And now, Mahomes is obviously giving him a run for his money. But I think that Aaron Rodgers is the most skilled quarterback that I've seen in my lifetime. The throws he makes, his arm strength, his accuracy, the windows he throws in, his pocket presence on the move. And that's another thing he doesn't get credit for. Getting out of the pocket and making plays with his legs, he does that. He makes plays out of nothing. Like, he does things that I have never seen from other quarterbacks. I mean, before Patrick Mahomes, it was Aaron Rodgers. He was the guy that was the most talented quarterback that we have seen in ever. Yeah. Before Mahomes, it was Rodgers. Now, because Mahomes is here, we kind of, give a blind eye to Rodgers and don't notice him as much. But that's the reason why he's underappreciated. And whenever the media talks about him, it's always usually negative. And I feel like he deserves better than that because not only is he a great quarterback, but he's a good person as well. And it happens a lot to guys who aren't open to the media. They just get painted as a villain because if you don't say anything at all, people most of the time assume the worst. And you mentioned a couple of cases, and I think it's become very clear Mike McCarthy was not fired because of Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. It's because he didn't adjust to the times, and that's become very clear in Dallas. And with Matt LaFleur, I think they've worked out very well. And you mentioned that I think Aaron Rodgers, I don't know him personally. He seems like a great guy. He seems like a great leader, and I agree. I think he's underappreciated. He's a top 5 quarterback of all time for me, and he's a top 3 quarterback in the league right now for me. Hey, what's up, guys? You just finished watching a clip of the Pick a Side podcast. My name is Joel Moran. My name is Jack Barteck.
My name is River Brown.
And we are your hosts for this podcast. We want to thank you guys for watching the clip. Like, subscribe, and comment, and share if you would care to, because it helps us grow. And we're trying to make this a full-time thing. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for supporting, and see you next time.